Lesson 1, properties of the elements. Okay, true or false? The smallest substance known to man is the molecule, is false. It is the atom. Everything that has mass is made from atoms is true. Atoms can be different sizes is true. Atoms can be seen through a microscope is false, way too small. Letters that are used as the symbol for an element is true. All elements have the same symbol is false. There are approximately 100 different elements is true, and all elements are metals is false. Okay, so first section is looking at a brief look at human history. So basically the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, but humans have only been around for the last, well, our precursors about 3-4 million years, would not be recognized as modern humans. So modern humans have only been around for a couple of 200,000-300,000 years. Okay, we have evidence of human existence in Africa going back around about 100 to 200,000 years. So all modern humans, or Homo sapiens, came from Africa. So everybody that you know in the world basically originated in East Africa. Okay, and migrated out around the world from that point onwards. Okay, early humans would have used just stone tools, and it's called the Stone Age. Okay, because metals weren't discovered. Okay, around about 9000 BC, there's evidence that metals were discovered, possibly earlier than that. So copper might well have been discovered in some cases up to 50,000 years ago. There's some evidence in Zimbabwe of copper mining from 50,000 years ago. And so when copper was discovered, we could make tools based out of copper, and tin was also discovered. Join those together, you make bronze. So you made tools out of bronze, which basically were better than stone tools, so it was called the Bronze Age. And then later, after that, iron was discovered, and the tools were made from iron, because iron is harder than bronze, so you could make better tools from that, and human timeline was called the Iron Age. Okay, if we look at these are some of the tools that our archaeologists have found. Okay, other metals which were discovered were gold and silver. Now, we can't find copper, iron, aluminium, metals like that lying around. We can find gold and silver as gold and silver in the ground, and that is because gold and silver were very unreactive. Okay, again, some evidence of these being discovered around 6000 BC. Okay, they did not need to be extracted. You found them as gold and silver. Copper is found in something called an ore, O-R-E, and this is basically, looks to all intents and purposes just like a rock, because the elements copper and all the other metals are quite reactive. They react with oxygen in the air and basically look like basically lumps of rock. So they were probably discovered by accident when humans made fires, because carbon was also another element which was discovered, and carbon is basically like partially burnt wood, or charcoal as it's called. Okay, and people might have noticed purely by accidents when they made fires that some of these ores or some of these rocks will actually effectively look like they're melting. The copper comes out of the rock once heated in the presence of charcoal, and that might be a purely accidental discovery more than likely. Okay, people didn't understand the chemistry about that. They just know that if these rocks were heated in charcoal, that these metals came out of them. Okay, now the different metals have different properties, and what we mean by a property is the way something behaves, how it feels, the look of it, its color, how it reacts, for example, with acids, with alkalis, with water in the air, and so on. Okay, are they hard, are they soft? Can we stretch them? Can we bend them? Different things we can do. And so those are called the properties of a material. Okay, and A2 looks at the properties of some of the most common elements. So if we look at A2, and you'll see again on the SharePoint page the link to the experiment which looks at going through the properties of all those. You will fill in table 5 once you view the video. Fill in the properties of those most common elements. Okay, so things like copper, iron, gold, silver, etc., etc. And then we have This should say 18, not 19. So most of the elements, all of the elements have now been discovered, most of them in the last 100, 150 years, things like calcium, zinc, sodium. Okay, that is lesson 1. Work your way through the knowledge and application questions.